What up, Laker Nation? It's your boy DTLF back with another pregame live stream as the Lakers get set to face the Sacramento Kings at 7 p.m. Pacific time. Also want to talk about the trade rumors today. I mean, I would usually be making these videos if I wasn't sick, but I'm gonna somehow try to mix the information into these pre-games and post-games, at least till I get better and give you guys individual content. But for now, I do want to touch on the trade rumors, the trade talks around the league, especially involving the Lakers and potentially what sounds realistic to me, and what just seems like a pipe dream or whatnot. And I mean, today we woke up to a brand new rumor, one we hadn't heard, as of yet. And that's, Lakers interested in or showing interest in Gary Trent Jr. Gary Trent Jr. from the Toronto Raptors. That one really shocked me because it's like, don't we have plenty of guards already? We could use another wing or a big man, especially. I don't know. But either way, these trade rumors are getting very interesting. Obviously, you guys know the obvious ones. Lakers in pursuit of Jeremy Grant and Miles Turner. So we have those as well. We don't know if anything will come to fruition or not, but I mean, we're involved in trade rumors, that's for sure. Now, as far as the unrealistic ones, in my opinion, the Ben Simmons one, all right, the one where the Lakers have offered, according to multiple reports, have offered Russell Westbrook, and the Sixers are still not interested in Russell Westbrook, right? But we all knew that. We knew Russell Westbrook's contract is going to be damn near impossible to move. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'm saying it's damn near impossible, and it's going to have to take a special situation. If not, we're going to be stuck with Russ maybe even another year, next year, right? How am I feeling? I'm feeling a bit better. My taste buds have been playing me lately, so I know it's COVID for a fact. They went away. These sun chips I usually eaten, and they tasted like dirt, man. So I was like, yeah, this is COVID for sure. But I'm getting better, man. Just the stomach pains are starting to subside, and stuff like that. Thanks for asking. He said Frank Vogel is buying heavily into small ball. Hey, did you guys hear about the fight between Montrezl Harrell and KCP yesterday? They got into a physical altercation. Yeah, for sure. We heard about the fight, man. But I mean, we don't know what went on or who was the problem, so I'm not going to comment on that. I wish them the best. By the way, talking about Washington, though, I will say Kyle Kuzma is proving me right. He's going off, man. He dropped another 29-point game yesterday. So, man, he's been going ham, if y'all haven't been paying attention. So your boy was right once again. But moving back to the trade rumors, man, Gary Trent Jr., what would it take? Now, I do know that Toronto is interested in THT. Also, none is a very movable contract. And supposedly he's nearing return. But as good as he is as a player, like, are they thinking of benching Westbrook and having a floor spacer run the point guard, or are they going to use him in his natural position at the 2 guard, or what's the case? I don't know. What do you guys think? My boy Johnny, appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much. He said, para el caldito y vaporú, get well, G. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much. He said, what up, Dan? How much is Braun dropping tonight? Well, I haven't got into the pregame just yet, brother, but I will. Now, hear me out. Gary Trent Jr. is averaging 16. Excuse me. Is averaging 16 points per game, shooting efficiently from beyond the arc. We know he's a high career 3-point shooter. He's still very young as well. I don't see a valuable trade for him unless we include THC and Kendrick Nunn. But then I feel like you're giving up too much for a point guard. To me, or a combo guard, should I say. To me, it's weird because we already have enough of that. We have Malik Monk. We have Kendrick Nunn coming back if you want some scoring from that position, some floor spacing as well. We got Austin Reeves from the shooting guard position. We got Wayne Ellington. The last thing we need is another scorer, in my opinion. We need a wing defender who can score and slash and do a little bit of everything. Jeremy Grant written all over it. If they're going to go small. If we're going to finally use bigs, then we can use a Miles Turner. All right, that's my take on that, guys. That is my take on that. Now, I do want to talk about tonight's game. Obviously, we play the Kings. We lost, all right, a golden opportunity to try to knock off the Grizzlies, but they're still on fire. All right, they beat the Golden State Warriors the other night, or was it today? I lost track. Being sick is not nice, man. But look, listen, they beat Golden State. Like Memphis is legit, so that made me feel a little bit better about losing to them, honestly. Even though we shouldn't have got blown out, but it made me feel better because it tells me that a they're a better team than we have given them credit for. If they can beat Golden State convincingly, then they're a better team. We have to give them their flowers. So let's hope that the Lakers can bounce back tonight. The Kings, again, very young, very hungry. Every single game out of the 3 has been competitive. This will be game number 4. This will be the final game in the series. Lakers currently up 2-1. So, that's the good news is we're up 2-1. Let's see if we can close it and finish the season series 3-1. He said, "You feel better, my guy?" I feel better, but I'm still sick, guys. I'm still sick. Hey, Dan, did you already cover the news about Sekou Demboya? No, thank you for reminding me. Yes, the Lakers reacquired him as a two-way player. So maybe they did so because they knew Carmelo Anthony's back was tight. I don't know what the case may be, but I hate how they've been dropping and acquiring the same players over and over. Let's see if they actually give him some run. I like this defensive prowess in the short minutes he ran. So let's see. Let's see if he actually gets some run. He said, Ja is prime Rose, but not injury prone. Yeah, man. I don't know. I'm not gonna rave about Ja no more. The way he talked about Laker fans, I'm cool. I'll let him brag about himself from here on out. He said COVID or just regular flu. I believe it's COVID, man. I've been quarantining. I haven't went out to get tested or nothing. So for everybody's safety, I'm gonna chop it up and call it COVID. My taste buds went away and came back. So he said LeBron is playing way too many minutes. I agree, Ozzy. And what's up, my boy? Thanks for the donation. I definitely agree. LeBron is playing heavy minutes. But you know whose fault that is? Russell Westbrook's fault and the coaching staff. Why do I say that? And you might think, okay, Dan, you're overdoing it, blaming Russell Westbrook for that one. No, because if Russell Westbrook was playing up to par and putting up his part, efficiently, then he wouldn't have to play heavy minutes. But unfortunately, since AD hasn't lived up to the hype this season and Russell Westbrook hasn't lived up to the hype, guess who's doing the heavy lifting for us? And the only reason we're above 500, one game above 500. Now, we are exactly past the halfway point tonight. Will be game number 42. The schedule is going to get tougher. These are must-win games, all right, if we want to have a shot at all. All right, at all. The Kings are a mediocre team, and we should treat them as such, meaning we should blow them out, really, but at least give me the victory tonight. And I would love it if the role players stepped up, man, and they had big performances. That way LeBron James can get an early rest, because you're right. The minute overload is very worrisome. I don't want to jinx anything, but I'm just saying it's very, very worrisome, man, as far as that goes. So you make a good point there, buddy. The Lakers have the hardest schedule for the remainder of the season. Exactly. It's either going to make us or break us, Midwest ENT. It's either going to make us or break us. We're at that point of the season now. But it starts with games like tonight. Again, all season long, we struggled to beat teams like the Kings. All right, we have struggled. And we haven't beat good teams consistently. So I need a trade from the Lakers. What that is, I have no clue. But I'm very happy that they're doing their due diligence, right? I want to ask Laker Nation. I want to ask you guys, man, because we haven't talked too much. Usually I'd be making all these trade rumor videos like I mentioned. But since I've been sick, you guys are going to have to excuse me. Now, listen, I do want to talk about trade rumors. Which is the rumor that intrigues you guys, Laker Nation, the most? Obviously, excluding Russell Westbrook from talks, because it seems he's not going to be moved probably for the next year and a half. What trade rumors are you guys actually buying into, and which ones are you guys selling? I'd love to know it. My boy Jax, thank you so much, man. Thank you, brother. Hey, it's a pleasure, man. It's a pleasure to be with you and change the tune from the sickness. I'm so sick of being sick, if that makes sense. So thanks for the donation, bro. He said, entertaining us all through COVID. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, Jax. Thank you so much, brother. Gary Trent Jr. You guys actually want Gary Trent Jr.? Now let me ask you this: like, would you do? Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. I'd rather get Grant. Me too. What do you think, Laker girl? She said Gary Trent Jr. I like. Um, Here's my thing about that though. We're gonna have to give up not just THT, but Kendrick Nunn, probably a pick just to make that happen. Messiah Ujiri is he is a shark. All right. I'm talking Shark Tank type shark. The type that needs to come up on the deal in order to make it happen. Remember, last time they tried to get THT and a first round pick and God knows what else I forgot for Kyle Lowry. So imagine what he would want for Gary Trent Jr. I don't know. And are you guys willing to give that up? A package like the one I mentioned. What if Messiah Ujiri says, I will take THC, Kendrick Nunn, and either Malik Monk or Austin Reeves? Are you guys doing that? Because I the hell am not doing that for no Gary Trent Jr. I don't care what kind of potential he has. I don't care what kind of shooter he is. I'm not giving up way too much for him. And that's a lot, by the way. That is a lot. But I'm telling you, Messiah he's a shark. Grant is a possible, but youngsters are gone. Grant, I'm not sure if it's possible, brother. If Grant was possible, I think that's one of our best options for sure. Yeah, I get concerned about dealing with Messiah Ujiri. I've seen the type of lopsided trades he makes. I don't know, guys. That's all I'm saying. You said not Monk, but would you give Austin Reeves instead of Monk? Would you give up? See, this angry Laker fan says not Monk, but would you give up? Kendrick Nunn, THC, and Austin Reeves. That's still too much for me. The max I'm giving up for Gary Trent, the max is Kendrick Nunn and THT max, and that's max. And I would expect like a second round pick in return. Don't want to give up too much though. I know the type of package Messiah would pull the trigger in, unless he still overvalues. If he overvalues THT, then he might give us something respectable for him. But other than that, I wouldn't deal with a shark like that. Trust me. I don't trust him. Like, listen, for the type of package that I just mentioned, they better include Pascal Siakam. He said, Dan, how are the Lakers re-signing Monk? He's gonna have to take the mid-level exception of $5 million at least for 1 year till we have enough to offer him a deal starting at around $11 million the next year after that. Or we might have to clear some cap for your boy because he's been balling the heck out. They're not trading Van Vliet. Van Vliet is playing the best basketball of his career right now. See, the thing that being sick gives me is more time to watch basketball, and I've been paying attention. Van Vliet, I think, just had his first career triple-double not so long, a couple nights ago. So, yeah, they're not trading Van Vliet, man. As much as I would love Van Vliet, trust me, I would give up a lot for Fred Van Vliet, and I'm sure the Lakers would too. I mean, maybe then I consider moving that super package we just talked about. Maybe then. If Van Vliet's involved, I'm your guy. But if it's just Gary Trent, he's very streaky, shooter for sure. I mean, I like him. Don't get me wrong. I definitely like him, but at the same time, I'm afraid of Messiah, man. There's not a lot of fair deals out there to be had because these GMs hate the Lakers. Let's be real. They're not trying to help us out at all. They see us struggling with Russell Westbrook and his mediocre post-game interviews he gives and all that, and they're laughing. They're having a good time. They're probably calling each other. They're probably in group chat. All 28 other teams, and I say 28 because I don't include the Clippers. Nobody probably fraternized with him. But all 28 other owners are probably laughing and sending each other clips of Russell Westbrook's post-game interview, just having a good time talking about, nobody touched this guy. Leave him where he's at. They hate us, man. We got 17 championships, so there's 99.9% chance we eliminated their favorite team at some point. They're not going to do any sort of favors for us. I'm telling you right now, they're not. And so the Lakers have to navigate around Russell Westbrook's contract. But check this out. I always try to find the positive in everything, right? And my positive is this. This is the way I think. This is the way DTLF's brain works while he's sick in bed, thinking about how the Lakers can get off of this rut that is Russell Westbrook. Now, hear me out. It might be a blessing in disguise that his contract is not tradable, because the last thing you want to do is get Ben Simmons and Tobias Harris, who isn't playing up to his contract, and now you got 80 mil, on the books. Not even sure if that's even possible, anyways. But hypothetically speaking, you don't want to keep digging yourself into a ditch trying to get yourself out of one. So what I would do if I was the Lakers is, if Russell Westbrook continues to play like this, you bench the shit out of him. Matter of fact, you take away his minutes and give him the Rondo treatment. Okay? This offseason, he'll have to choose between the money or playing time. That's what I would do. And hopefully he would opt out, freeing up 40 mil in cap space, which would do wonders for us this offseason. But if he doesn't, let's just say he opts in, then so be it. We'll hold on to his expiring contract for one more season, and then we'll go into the offseason of 2023 summer with all the free agents and all the glory names on that market, and we're only going to have AD's cap. So this could end up being a long-term blessing in disguise, in a sense, if the Lakers do end up sitting on that contract. That's all I'm saying. Like, we could end up with Jason Tatum or who knows who else, right? Because we ended up screwing ourselves with this trade. Let's be honest. Everybody over there in Washington world is balling out while Russell Westbrook's over here giving, just making the chemistry worse. Like, this guy's scoffing at questions about being a point guard. Who does that? Russell Westbrook does that. Why? Because he is who we thought he was. In the words of, what's that guy, that coach's name? Forgot his name, but you know who I'm talking about. He's exactly who we thought he was. A selfish guy who only cares about his own stats, and it shows in the post-game presser. I promise you, if he had a triple-double, he'd be a lot happier. He'd probably just point at the stat sheet, be like, talk to the hand. That's the problem with Russ, is that he looks miserable because he didn't even get 10 points back-to-back games. I bet you if he had a triple-double, though, he would have been really happy. He probably would have been doing the crip walk in the presser. He probably would have been dancing around and that's just the thing about him is he doesn't have that killer, and he's never had that. All right, people were right all along. I was blind to see it. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to accept it because I thought he was playing for losing franchises. But they were right, man. They were right. He said Sabonis would be the best pickup. My boy likes Sabonis, huh? Sabonis is nice. Defensively, I'm not sure I like him very much. I prefer Miles Turner, though. I feel like we have enough offense now. Sabonis is more of an offensive-minded big. Yeah, can he play defense? Sure. But I want the one who's built to play defense, right? Sekou is back. He might not get a single minute, bro. Like, knowing this coaching staff, they're weird like that. They bring him back just to have him sitting there looking like cheerleaders on the sideline. He might not get a single minute of PT. But I'll say this. I like the kid. I like his tool set. I like his length, versatility. He actually played really well when we played him earlier in the season. But he said Sabonis is not soft, though. Nah, he's not soft. He's not soft. But what do you think the asking price will be for Sabonis? I don't mind Sabonis. I'm not saying I don't want him. I'm just saying I prefer Miles Turner. But what do you guys think they would want and require for Sabonis, who's actually made an all-star? He said, I'll go the cheap route and trade for DJ for Moses Brown from Dallas. Now, I've been hearing that the Lakers might have to use some draft picks just to unload Kent Bazemore and DeAndre Jordan. That's counterproductive. Because the last thing you want to do when you have limited assets is get rid of the assets. Now, if it's a second-round pick to unload both, I'm cool. But it's just, man, I hate getting those type of players. Doesn't it feel like every season we get a player who's dead weight on the roster? And that's what DeAndre Jordan and Kent Bazemore are this season. Everybody else can contribute, but for some reason, those two are not, showing up. So I don't know what to tell you there with Kent, but let's see what happens. Listen, we are currently Wednesday, January 12th, 2022. That sounds weird when I say 2022. That means 3 days till Talen Horton-Tucker's contract becomes tradable. All right. I expect the trade rumors to start flying off the rails from here till then, and even past then, all the way to the trade deadline, because the Lakers are only one game over 500 at the halfway mark of the season. That is not acceptable. Rob Pelinka knows that. The fans know that. Jeannie Buss knows that. Everybody knows. Everybody knows that, man. So you said you see Paul George may not return to the Clippers, Dan. I'm not gonna laugh about it. I don't like. I don't. I don't care if I hate the franchise or the players, but I don't enjoy injuries to other teams. That's sinister. We shouldn't laugh about it, bro. Um, we have our own injuries to deal with. I'm focused on us. Uh, he said trade Russell Westbrook. Oh my goodness. The THT. THT will not get traded the day he becomes trade eligible. I didn't say all that, Jay, but I mean, who are you to say he won't either? Who knows? Maybe they already have a trade in place, and maybe as soon as he becomes eligible, he'll get moved. Or, like you said, maybe he won't even get traded at all past the trade deadline. So I'm just speculating because it's fun to speculate, and I will be dropping videos. So I'm starting to feel better. I will be dropping videos on the matter because these trade rumors are juicy, guys, and we got to definitely dissect how said trade rumors would impact our roster. I mean, it's always fun every year. And you guys know that I'm definitely doing a trade deadline special leading all the way up to the trade deadline. So that's when I go live for an hour during the trade deadline, and then I come back on live if anything happens. So he said Darren LeBron should take Monk hostage like Dallas did with DJ to sign him. I'll tell you this about Malik Monk. You're in a beautiful city with the best fans in the world, best franchise in the world, and we are the first ones to give you an opportunity since college, like a golden opportunity. You're gonna get paid, but I think it's in his best interest to stay put because he could be the future of Los Angeles as far as the shooting guard position goes. Why go? Why waste that? Get paid, go elsewhere, and then they might squander your talent and not use you properly. You end up right back at the end of the bench. So if I was Malik Monk's agent, I would tell him, listen, you have to shoot for the long term here. Okay. Now, it might be more beneficiary to you to take a 1-year deal with the Lakers and then they'll pay you, when they're able to pay you. That's just the way I would pitch it to him if I'm his agent. I would hate to see Malik Monk go to some no-name team and rot. Instead, he should take advantage of his golden opportunity here with the Lakers. But we'll see. It'll be up to him. One thing's for sure, we do have depth at the 2-guard position. So even if he bounces, which I would hate, we still have Austin Reeves there that could be groomed into our future starting shooting guard. I don't know where if THT will still be here or not, but we have options. So hopefully Monk makes the right decision for his career, which is staying here, in my opinion. But it'll be up to him, man. He said, would you trade Westbrook for VanVleet? Would I? In a heartbeat. But remember, a trade is always two ways. Two ways. Some guy was annoying me on Twitter talking about he made a recruitment video for Jeremy Grant to come to the Lakers. So if we traded for him, we should thank him, is what he told me. I was like, I tried to explain politely to him that it's not in his control where he goes. When you get traded, when you're under contract, you could sway something a certain way, but it's not in your control for the most part. He didn't listen, so I had to block him. But the bottom line is, whoever the Lakers end up with, man, I just hope we can pull off a good move, because the last thing we need to do is dig ourselves in a bigger hole that's gonna end up, blocking any future moves in free agency. I think Rob knows that. And that's why he traded for Russell Westbrook, because he's an expiring contract in 2023. So we have to understand that. Rob, I don't think he's playing chess. I'm sorry. I don't think he's playing checkers. I think he's playing chess out here. But that's just my opinion. I could be wrong. But if you think about it, everything lines up perfectly for not this summer, but next summer. And so that's the reason I think they took the gamble that hasn't paid off on Russell Westbrook, right? He said, if we keep Russ to have the cap space in a few years, we lose 2 Bron years now to shoot for a title. I know that. I know that. And so I do believe they're trying to unload his contract. But if they can't successfully do it, we don't have many other options. I'm just stating facts. I mean, you can type in all caps all you want. But I'm telling you right now, LeBron James also wanted Russell Westbrook to come here. So it's a gamble that hasn't paid off for both the front office or LeBron. So let's hope for the best, but prepare yourself for the worst. And the worst being Russell Westbrook not only stays here for one more year, um, I'm sorry, for the rest of this year, but for another year. That's worst case scenario. And that's because listen, he's scheduled to make $47 million. Who structured the contract that way? The Thunder did. All right. Because they wanted to give him that hometown hero, not hometown hero, but that, loyalty contract. Well, there's no way he's ever making that, probably even combined in his career, if he opts out of that. So he's probably smarter to stay put. Now, however, a player in the last year of his contract becomes very tradable because now other teams want to free up that cap space for that summer of 2023, right? So bottom line is we might at least have to rock with Russell Westbrook at the very least to the end of the season. But who knows? Okay, I don't make any promises. I'm just telling you guys. He said, "What up, Dan?" He said, "Forgot to tell you, do see No Way Home." Did I see No Way Home? Oh, the Spider-Man movie? Yes, I did. Before I got sick, I had watched it, man. And yes, it was great. Yes, it was. But let's not spoil it for the fans that haven't seen it. He said, "Why are we asking to play small ball?" He said, "Is it possible that our players' miniature height is 6'7"? He said, "LeBron James, point guard. Then we can find some more guys that are taller and athletic so we can defend better too." We have plenty of size on the roster. That's not the reason we're going small. The reason they're going small is because they're trying to get with the times, I guess, and they're trying to better floor spacing to accommodate Russell Westbrook. But no matter how much we accommodate him, he's definitely not happy. Just look at his post-game recaps. Not his recaps, I'm sorry, his post-game pressers. And look at the way he's answering. He looks very disgruntled. He looks like he wants out. But guess what, Russ? Nobody wants you, buddy. Nobody wants you. So you're stuck with us and we're stuck with you. So the best case scenario would be for him to get benched because with that ego, he'll have one good game and three bad ones. It's been the trend, or two good games and three bad ones. Still not good enough. He's one of the main reasons we're one game above 500, which is not a compliment, by the way. Did I see the Eternals movie? I have not seen it, bro. No, sir. He said, if you haven't seen Spider-Man yet, go to 1, 2, 3 movies. I don't recommend that, King. I don't recommend that at all. I mean, that's a movie to watch in the theaters. Although, granted, you stay safe from the whole pandemic situation, but that's definitely a banger. You got to watch it in the theaters. There's no other way, man. There's no other way to watch a movie like Spider-Man. Because I can't wait for Tatum to be a Laker. If that happens, we're gonna be so happy. Tatum. Now, he's not going to lead us to a championship by himself. Clearly, we'd probably still have Anthony Davis. And we'd probably have to recruit a third piece because those two by themselves, even though they can put up points, it's not going to be enough. We still need some depth. But let's just focus on the now for now, guys. Just sign Taco and Bobo, Twin Towers, literally. Those guys are too slow, man. Well, Bobo, I would have given him a shot, but he's not a free agent. Taco Fall, however, he's a dinosaur, man. He doesn't fit in the modern day NBA. Yeah, he's really tall, could block a shot or two here or there. Maybe he can play as a third string center, sure. But as a backup or even starting center, hell no, man. He's too slow. He's gonna get destroyed in the paint. They're gonna run circles around him. You don't want that. Dan read a spam comment. Who would have thought? Bro, I'm sick. I'm reading whatever I can. He said Tatum thinks he can shoot 40 shots and be broke. You're not Kobe, bruh. Listen, Jason Tatum is on a team that has no identity. It has no structure. That's why they've struggled. They just have it's a bunch of collective talent. He needs to be with the Lakers. All right. The Lakers always find a structure for a championship blueprint. And that's something that the Celtics, even though they've had a lot of talent go through there, they only have one championship in the last, 50 years? Yeah, you don't want to be there. Plus, it's filled with so many racist pricks out there that I go on their forums sometimes just to see the way they chase away Jason Tatum from their team. Trust me, man. Nobody wants to play for that city. As soon as their rookie scale contract ends up, you know, they're better suited moving on. He said, not this year. He said, Bobo got waived by the Pistons. Did he? No way. Did he? I would pick that up. I would I would pick that up, bro. Quick. If Bobo really got waived by the Pistons, yeah, that would definitely be a project to look into if you're the Lakers. Why? Because he can shoot for a big man. Yeah, he's not the quickest, but he's very versatile. He kind of has his game pattern like a wing, kind of like a poor man's KD, but obviously clearly not as talented or quick or elusive. All right, looks like we have a new starting lineup, guys. LeBron James, center, shooting guard Malik Monk, poor excuse of a point guard Russell Westbrook, Avery Bradley, and then Trevor Ariza. Well, actually, that's the same starting lineup. I'm tripping. See, this medicine got me bugging out. He didn't get waived. That's what I thought. See, lie to me, guys. Lie to me. This is an easy way to get blocked. Bobo did not get waived. I didn't think so. Appreciate you, bro. He said LeBron James at center, per usual. I mean, they're gonna rock with it. They're gonna rock with this current lineup. This small ball is, I guess, this is the Lakers' future. I guess. I did hear, however, when Anthony Davis comes back, he's gonna run the center. So we'll see how that plays out. He looks slimmer. From the video I saw him shooting around the other night, looked much slimmer. So let's see how that plays out. He said Monk would have to take the 6.2 million taxpayer mid-level exception next season. I hope he does, Kevin. I hope he does. It's the right move for his career. He's going to be our starter moving forward. It's the right move. It's the right move for his career. I'd be shocked, man, if he opts out. Well, I wouldn't be shocked. Sometimes money talks. Sometimes players care more about money than having a secure future in the NBA. But we'll see. Hopefully not. All I know is he's starting tonight, and let's hope that he balls the heck out. Any final questions before I get off, guys? Thank you so much for the support. Appreciate y'all, man. You guys, especially my day ones. Shout out Kevin King. Shout out Laker Girl. Shout out all of y'all, man. He said, Ja will be a Laker soon. Nah, he won't. No, he won't. The way he talked about the fans, I don't ever want him to be a Laker, man. Maybe I'm lying. Maybe it's my ego in the way, but he won't be a Laker anytime soon. That's for sure. Mucho endorsements. Oh, that's right. Absolutely. Endorsement money. Especially if you can put up all-star numbers. You definitely will get them shoot deals, and then the commercials and all that will come. For sure. He said, if LeBron really wanted to win, I wonder if he'd take a pay cut to keep Monk like Brady did. Probably not, man. LeBron's all about his money at this point of his career. And remember, he revolutionized the league to the point where everybody's getting paid now. So a lot of that's on LeBron, and he tells players not to take pay cuts. he'll probably tell Monk to go elsewhere, like to get that money. But who knows? Who knows? He said, "Josh too cocky." I agree, Victor. I'm so over him. Very talented player. I'm not hating on his talent. I hate his haircut, his big head, and his ego, man. Which seems to be a common theme nowadays. He said, "Bron is a billionaire. He would do it." I don't know, Dom. I'd have to see it to believe it. I don't think any of these max players take any sort of pay cuts. And they probably feel insulted. They'd be like, "What the?" If you ask them to take a pay cut, they'd be like, "You don't appreciate my services? I'm having MVP numbers. The fuck?" They would be really frustrated. I think they would, rich people operate different mentally. They're not as humble as we are. It's different because when you're all about your money, and on top of that, LeBron's a businessman. So yeah, I doubt he does it. He said, "Hi, Dan. I'm just tuning in considering the Lakers have to include TC and Kendrick Nunn. Who would you mind Who wouldn't you mind trading THT for? Kendrick Nunn, Miles Turner, Jeremy Grant, or Gary Trent Jr.? The first two. For Gary Trent Jr., I think it's too much, especially because I think Kendrick Nunn can give you similar production if he's healthy. That is. He said, "Would you do a live game reaction on the upcoming second Brooklyn game?" I would if enough people requested, man, and most likely I'll be feeling better by then. I definitely would, man. I definitely would. But anyways, thank you guys so much, man, for tuning in. I'm gonna go ahead and set up the TV and all that good stuff, man. Get ready for the game. Hopefully, Lakers come out ready tonight because we gotta bounce back, man. We gotta get this show back on the road and right our wrongs from the other night because that was a disturbing loss. And let's hope that they come out hungry, focused, and we're able to overcome Russell Westbrook tonight, if he's even able to overcome himself. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate the likes, donations, and all the support, man. You guys are the best. I'll see you guys for the post-game recap.